Greetings, vinyl community people, on a Wednesday evening. Yeah, it's nice. It's sun is shining for change around here. Getting some of this late summer, early fall weather finally in. It's the monsoonal rains of summer 2023 have subsided. So yeah, this is a two-pronged approach today, if you will. I'm going to do two things at once, right? Chewing gum and walking at the same time, that kind of thing. So yeah, so just because I don't want to make two videos on a Wednesday, and I'm going to slam these together just like a club sandwich. So we got What the Gym. Nice kid, Adam, over in the UK. He's running a contest right now. He's trying to get to 500 subscribers. So please, let's help him do that. So I'll leave a link to What the Gym is the name of his channel, but the kid's name is Adam. I watched a couple of his videos. He does a great job, and he's having this contest, and this contest is right in my wheelhouse. I love it. It's a Wild West contest. So it focuses on, well, you'll see what it focuses on because I'm going to tell you. There's only 3 criteria. So I know my friend Steve over at All the World's a Stage, he loves 3 criteria, just keeping it simple. Just like reading in high school, read the Cliff's Notes instead of reading the real book for your English assignment, right? Yeah, been there with that one. So anyway, first off, there's 3 things, like I said. And the first thing Adam wants us to do is, I got to look down at my questions here. So show a cowboy Wild West movie. So I'm a huge movie fan. I said earlier in one of my videos last winter, I'm going to talk about movies more. I really should. So I'm going to do it right now. So anyway, yeah, without further ado, here we go. It's Django Unchained. Yes, I'm a completist. I have every Quentin Tarantino on DVD, physical format to look at it. I love him as a filmmaker. I'll never forget first time I saw Reservoir Dogs, but that's a different movie. I'm talking about Django Unchained. So anyway, it's basically a story. Christoph Waltz plays this guy, and he frees the slave Django, and played by, of course, Jamie Foxx. What am I doing here? Yeah, so there's Jamie Foxx down in center playing the role of Django. So it's great dialogue, and the gunfight scene at the Candide Ranch. What was the main character here? I'm trying to think of his name. You've got Dr. King Schultz, played by Christoph Waltz, and of course Jamie Foxx plays Django, and then Calvin Candy. Yes, Calvin Candy, one of the most evil villains I've seen in a movie in recent memory. Of course, played by Leonardo DiCaprio right there, and Kerry Washington plays the love interest of Django. Total knockout. So it's love. It's life, liberty, and the pursuit of vengeance. So yeah, I'm not going to leave too much of the plot. Spoilers for you if you haven't seen it. I highly recommend that you do, though. Like any Quentin Tarantino movie, I'm going to recommend them all. There's really no duds. There you go, right there. So yeah, so that is an example, and it's Hateful Eight, an example of a Wild West or cowboy movie, and the release date on that one is from 2015. Show a record, CD, or a cassette with a cowboy Wild West themed album cover. Well, any of you that watch my channel know I like a lot of classic country and western. So here's Jerry Jeff up on his horse. He's riding high in 1975. It's Jerry Jeff Walker, of course. Just says Jerry Jeff there, but yeah, he's riding high. He's up on a horse. He's probably high too. Like to smoke a bit of weed, I think, once in a while. Not here to judge. So there you go. On the inside, there's a bunch of photos. Cool shots right there. Yeah, so what was it? Oh, yeah. What's the best song on this for here, if I could recommend one? Yeah, I'm going to recommend Like a Coat from the Cold, written by the great Guy Walker, and there he is right there. Excellent. Not Guy Walker, what am I saying? Guy Clark. Guy Clark wrote this song for Jerry Jeff Walker, Riding High right there. So, yeah, that's actually a shot of Guy Clark and his wife, Susanna. And there's Jerry Jeff and his wife, what was her name? Yeah, Susanna. And Susan was Jerry Jeff Walker's wife. Susanna was Guy Clark's wife. I'll get that right. Not that these extraneous details mean anything to you, Adam, for this contest, but there you have it. An example of a Cowboy Wild West themed album cover, and that's Jerry Jeff Walker, Riding High. Talk about your favorite Cowboy Wild West song is the last one. Okay. Oh yeah, here's a bonus movie actually right here at the front. This is Crazy Hard. I saw this sitting there, so I thought I'd show this to you real quick. Just an example. It's not an example of a Wild West movie, but it's a biopic of a fictional character. Jeff Bridges plays Bad Blake. a washed up country and western guy. I think it's kind of set in the 90s, though this movie came out around 2009. Think along the lines of a Jerry Jeff Walker, a kind of honky tonk guy, or Billy Joe Shaver, and you've got the main character, Bad Blake. This is an excellent, excellent movie. Jeff Bridges is one of my favorite actors, and he actually does all the singing in this, and he does a really great job. And his co-star in this is really good too. The love interest is Maggie Gyllenhaal, and yeah, I'm trying to think of the other guy here who's in this. It doesn't matter. They don't list. I can't read this writing. It's so damn small. Anyway, you get the drift. It's Crazy Heart. All right, so back to the last question. Talk about your favorite Cowboy Wild West song. Here you go. Can't get any more wilder than this. It's Honky Tonk Heroes. That's the title track on this album. And I mentioned Billy Joe Shaver. He wrote this, pretty much this whole album. 98% of it are all original. Billy Joe Shaver originals. And this came out in 1973. Yeah, and of course the title track's great. Low Down Freedom, Old Five and Dimers Like Me, Ain't No God in Mexico, and rounds things out with Black Rose and We Had It All. This is just a really solid record. I'd almost call this crossover to rock at certain points in this, but it's really great. You want to get your drink on and get some country and western going, vintage country and western, this is where you need to go right here. And it's Waylon Jennings, Honky Tonk Heroes. Original Outlaw right there. All right, part 2 of this. Surprise, surprise. I'm going to jump on Embryonic Robot, jump on his thread that he's doing right now. I saw a few others doing it. And unlike the one, there was another one earlier we had to do where we named 5 songs we hated or something. I'm not going to apologize for this one because everybody else is just letting loose. So I'm going to let loose. I don't have a lot of these, of course, so I'm not going to be able to show you anything. So look, some of these are going to surprise you. Some might not, but what the hell? Here we go. And these are in no order because they all suck. So number 10, it gets Styx. Too Much Time on My Hands. I'm going to say it. If you listen to that song, you've got too much time on your hands. Coming in at number 9, The Cars, Just What I Needed. I actually have The Cars debut, but I lent it to a friend of mine last weekend, ironically. I like The Cars, but Just What I Needed, if I don't hear that again in this lifetime, and especially living in the greater Boston area where they're from, I'm all set with Just What I Needed. All right, Queen. I do have this one, though. Yes, it's from the Jazz album, probably one of their weaker albums. Yeah, and the song I'm talking about on here, it kicks this whole thing off. It's called Mustafa. It is awful. I can't stand it. I don't like it. I think it's a novelty song. It sucks. Freddie Mercury. You let me down with that one. So it's from the Jazz album. What's on the inside here? Yeah, this is great. I mean, so many other great moments on this, but then they kick it off with that piece of crap. It's just terrible. Hold on. Colton, get in here. I think the cat wants in. So anyway, yeah, Mustafa, terrible. All right, and then I do have another one here. One of my favorite bands, right? They really could do no wrong, but then they can't. Then when they did do wrong, they released a song on this called Mother. It is awful. I think it's the last track on this. So I think it's on side 2. It's Andy Summers sings it, and he wrote it. And he's just wailing. It's almost like, oh, I don't know. Yoko Ono walking on the thin ice. Think about that, right? That's what this sounds like. He's screaming about his mother. There's Andy right down there. I don't know if he had mummy issues, but boy, you try to get through that song. Go on and stream it after you watch my video, Mother, and it'll blow your eardrums apart. It's just dreadful. The lyrics down here. Where is it here? Yeah. Oh mother, please listen and don't devour me. And he goes on and on. Please have mercy, on and on. Let this poor boy be. I mean, god damn, awful. Yeah, and they've made it at the last song, thank God, because if you listen to the album, you can skip it at the end there. So otherwise, it's kind of ironic that the final song on any studio album by the Police is their worst, and it's called Mother. So again, I can go on all day about it. I hate it so much. Yeah. All right, where are we now here? Yes, Foreigner. I don't have that, of course, and the song I'm talking about is Urgent. I'd say it's urgent that commercial radio stop playing it. Colton, what do you think? Yeah, Colton doesn't really like Foreigner either, especially Urgent. It's not urgent for Colton. What else? Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, Gary, over at Physical Format. I know you dig it. A lot of you guys dig it. I know Steve likes it. Others do too. It's Yes. Roundabout. Yeah, in a roundabout way, I'm going to say I can't stand it. I guess that's a more direct way of saying it. I'm not beating around the bush. There's no roundabout about it. I don't like it. I don't like Yes. I don't like John Anderson. And there I've said it. All right. And a band I otherwise love. There it is. Dark Side of the Moon, right? Wonder if you can guess what song I'm going to mention on here. Well, I'm going to leave the mystery out of it, and I'm just going to let it go. It's right there. Money. Yes. Yeah, want to give me money, I'll listen to it, but boy, when I hear that, when I change it, when I hear the ka-ching, ka-ching at the beginning, I change the station. I just never liked it, no matter how hard I tried, and I love my Pink Floyd. All right, number 3, Collective Soul, moving into the 90s. I don't get this band. I think it's just crappy 90s elevator music. I wouldn't put them in the same category as Dave Matthews, but we're getting into that same territory. Yeah, and the ocean of things floating around, ocean of bad songs floating. Oh, Colton, you don't like it either. The biting there, man. The song I'm talking about with Collective Soul, yes, it's called Shine. There's nothing shiny about it. Number 2, Sting. Now, I just mentioned The Police, and I do like some Sting solo. I saw Sting solo, not on this tour, but this is his debut from Dream of the Blue Turtles. I'll say that was around what year that was. I don't know. 85, 86. And if you love somebody, set them free. How about if you love somebody, don't release that song on an album? So the funny part about this is Dream of the Blue Turtles, he tried to get a little jazzy. And I'm a huge jazz guy, but I don't dig smooth jazz. It sucks. It's like, your elevator jazz background. Some people would argue that all jazz is background music, but certainly when you have a musician at the level of Branford Marsalis playing on your album, you shouldn't be giving him musical direction. And I remember watching some documentary kind of thing about Sting and the making of Dream of the Blue Turtles, and they're in the studio, and he's telling him how to, this scale's like this, and it's like he's looking at him like, I'm Branford Marsalis, man, you're Sting, okay? Stop. Go play the bass over there, and I'll take care of the saxophone. But anyway, I'm going on. So that's Sting. If you love somebody, set them free and don't make them listen to that song. Coming in at number 1, these were in no order. Like I said, they're all equally bad in my mind. You've got, look, Santana. I saw him twice in the early 90s. He was amazing. And he's still playing. If you get a chance, go see him. But for whatever reason, in the late 90s, another one of these 90s bands, Matchbox 20. I don't get it. The lead guy is named, this guy, Rob Thomas. And they did this song called Smooth. It's rough, man. It's not smooth. It's rough getting through a song like that. And I don't like it. So that's why it's on this list, right? So wrapping things up here today with Colton. He's restless on a Wednesday. Arm rest here on Colton. Get over and check out What the Gym, his channel. And that's Adam. He's the host, and he's doing that Wild West channel. I'll leave a link, like I said, in the description below. And I'll also leave a link to our friend Brian Embryonic Robot from Toronto, to his initial launch of this thread of 10 songs I hate. Couldn't be more explicit right there. You don't like it, you hate it, right? So anyway, I'm going to do a video coming up this weekend, probably on stuff I got at that record show last weekend. And yeah, so I met up with a few of the guys from the vinyl community, and I'll talk about that in that video this coming weekend. And in the meantime, it's midweek. We're almost there, folks. See you next time.